Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Starmade. Oh yes. In the previous episode we have built this crazy thing, and one thing I want to take away right off the bat, and I'm so stupid for not thinking of it, of course the cannons are shooting in the direction the computer is currently facing. So maybe let's have a quick look at that. If I shut off the machine, we can see that I have my weapons computers right here and they are all arranged in the same direction, and of course they will shoot in that particular direction no matter how the barrels are arranged. Of course that didn't make much sense for me, that's why I haven't thought of it. I knew it at one point but I totally forgot it and I just couldn't figure it out, so thank you very much for pointing that out. Anyways, what I would like to do in the beginning of this episode is do some more on the bottom of the mothership. We all know the bottom is very flat and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not really fitting the whole theme of the mothership, which is kind of curvy and almost a little bit arbitrary, I would say. Anyways, what I would like to do is build some kind of a ring around this so it looks like a huge vent of some sorts, and of course there's going to be a lot more attached to this rotating thing. Right now we only have covered 4 directions, but it's supposed to also be shaped kind of roundish. Of course we can still only shoot in 4 directions, but we can shoot like 10 bullets in one direction instead of just one single beam as we have it right now. So I think I'm gonna get rid of my first attempts right here. This actually didn't turn out that great, and what we probably want to go for is a build helper. Now of course I took myself the liberty to already check what kind of measurements I'm gonna require, and that is actually a radius of 85 versus the X root of 90, so that we have it placed flat on the surface, and I believe this is just the perfect ring that we need. So let's place that bad boy in the center right here, and you can see I already set myself the symmetry planes, and now we have this almost perfect ring. Yeah, look at that. I think this is just the amount of space that we need so this thing can still, you know, rotate around without any issues. I guess we will figure out eventually. Let's just start building within this area and we're gonna try to complete this circle. Okay, we're almost through. Thanks to the build helper and of course these symmetry planes, we were able to build this circle in almost no time, and now I have to figure out whether or not this is actually gonna stop our contraption. So we have to enable this block, and yeah, we are still turning around perfectly. Oh yes, this is gonna be freaking awesome. The only thing I have to make sure is that the layer where we actually shoot the cannons is free, so that the bullets are not being stopped by our own hull. That would be horrible. This one here is the barrel that actually shoots, so we have to leave this space here empty. So maybe what we could actually do is take some lava in order to make the upper row. I wonder how that will look. Also, we'll have to think what we actually do with these corners. Also at the bottom here we have to do something with the wings. They are still too edgy, of course. But yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna try to finish this ring with lava as well, and we just have a look how that looks. Okay, there we go. The lava circle is completed and now I don't regret it. I kind of think it is exactly the effect I wanted to go for. This should look like a vent, a drive, a huge engine, whatever the hell. It should have some effect to it. I might even set up some blinking lights of some sort when it actually runs. Maybe let's enable the machine just so that we can get a better grasp of how that actually looks. And it looks already much more like a vent because of the beautiful encasement. So I guess we now have to continue with this encasement in some way or the other, and I would assume that we are gonna go up at least like 3 or 4 more blocks. So maybe what we could do is something like this, just go along with more black hole. And what do you think about that? Could we go even further? I'm really not sure. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a thicker extrusion, and I do have to say I like it, though we still definitely have to do something about this area. And I just see, what the heck are you doing here? You are a misplacement. One of the many that are probably on this ship. Anyways, I guess it is now time to shut the machine off once again and tend to the upper part. We want to move up here and we want to go into this ship core, I guess. Okay, so now we are in the build mode of this most outer part here, and I guess what we could do is set the correct symmetry planes, and then we can start to have a bunch of extensions right here. Now, how far do I have to go? I guess I only really have to go one block here, right? It is enough if they are one block apart from each other. The most important thing is that they actually don't touch each other. And then we have like another row of crystals and then another row of those guys. Now, how far can we go? Because I want to have the same thing on the other side. It should, of course, be symmetrical as per usual. Okay, there we go. Is this the center? Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gaps. 4, 5, 6. So we need one more right here. So yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't add up perfectly. I guess I'm gonna take away this guy right here. Oh no, I actually made a mistake. That was a totally unnecessary mistake. What the heck are you doing, Nathan? Let's take away those guys. And we're gonna try this once more. We can have the gap already at the first spot, and now it will actually add up, hopefully. There we go. We met in the perfect exact center. Just gotta love it. And now we have to think about a different distribution. I mean, what we want to do is basically to divide it up right in the center, and we're gonna have some cannon barrels just completing this whole square. So it will basically shoot in a square, but since it will be turning 360 like a crazy mad rotational thing, it ought to be looking pretty crazy, I would assume. Okay, let's start right here. This would be the first barrel, second, third, and fourth. And then the same thing on the other side, like this. Oh yeah, oh, can you see it coming along? I can definitely see it. I'm not sure if we want to fill up everything with the ice crystals. You know, a good mix of lava blocks might also be useful. On the other hand, the more mass we place on this thing, the slower it will actually turn around, and the more of those guys I'm gonna need, these mass enhancers. But I guess we can take it. Yeah, let me just work on that a few more minutes and I'll show you how it actually turned out. Okay, there we go, guys. I think I have completed another step, and I hope it still will be able to rotate around. Actually, before we continue with anything, we should definitely try that out. So let's hop out of our contraption, and we are gonna enable the enable button. Which one is it? It must be this one. Let's enable it, and oh yes, we do have issues. So let's investigate those. Are we too heavy, or are there any collisions that are not supposed to be? And it looks as though they are collisions that are not supposed to be. Look at that. What the heck did I do there? Yeah, we have to fix that. Man, what is up with the frame rate? I guess the frame rate is really bad because it is trying to push itself through another block right now. Yeah, look at that. I made a lot of mistakes. Oh, jeez. Let's get rid of those guys. This will make the whole situation much better. I'm at 10 FPS at the moment. Okay, but now I've taken care of everything, haven't I? Look at that. We are rotating. We are actually rotating. Yeah, look at that, but not very fast. Yeah, look at that. We are actually rotating, but it's like taking me down to 10 frames per second, and I hope that I've done something utterly wrong. Or is it because it has to move like this many blocks? It could be that I have exaggerated. Oh man, come on, but it looks freaking awesome. Yeah, 9 FPS. Let's disable it very briefly and just investigate a little bit further just to see what is actually happening. Come to a halt. You know, I really don't mind that it is turning around slowly, but I do mind that I cannot shut it off at the moment. Okay, look at that. It's looking good right now. It seems to be coming to a halt, and now it's pushing the whole contraption slightly to the right. Oh yeah, we definitely do need a lot more mass enhancers on this contraption. This cannot be, this cannot be. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm back to, what? 20 FPS? I started with 30. At least near the mothership, I cannot get more than 30 FPS anymore. How many freaking blocks do we have right now? 566,946. I thought that would be more. It felt like a lot more. Anyways, now we're back at at 60 FPS, so moving this whole contraption actually damaged my frame rate a whole lot more than I would have liked it. I'm not entirely sure how we will prevent this from happening. I kind of want to try it out once more. I feel like the contraption came into confusion because there were still a lot of blocks just hanging on the wrong or at the wrong spots, and I have to say no, that was not the case. We're back at 10 FPS. That is so disappointing. What are we gonna do about that? I mean, I guess really one thing we can do is just put a lot more mass enhancers everywhere, and we're just gonna hope that this will kind of help to cope with the whole mass calculations. I'm not sure if we can actually do something about that. We might have to go a lot smaller than I wanted. We might use the rotational part just for decorative things and come up with something else for the defense mechanisms. But yeah, right now we're just gonna place a bunch of those guys and hope for the best. Are we already turning faster? What do you think? Holy bejeez. Okay, this is kind of crazy. What I did like the past 20 minutes is basically put a bunch of the mass enhancer modules on top of it, just trying to adjust various things, but unfortunately I'm just getting from 60 FPS down to 10 without the real control over this block. I mean, I can still enable and disable it, but sometimes it reacts like 10 seconds later, so we'll have to unfortunately find another solution for what I'm going for right here. I guess we can still make it look pretty nice, only having like cannon modules on the very top, so it's gonna be like a ring, and all this middle part right here is gonna be gone, so that the computer doesn't have to do this many mass calculations turning this around. I mean, I can live between 30 and 40 FPS, that is alright for me, but let's just enable this once more and you can already feel it, and it's just trying to move this whole contraption. I cannot really see. Right now it should be doing a sideways movement. Yeah, I guess I can see it slightly. However, once it has done the sideways movement, it is gonna go into the rotational movement. And there we go, it started the rotational movement. It is a little bit faster than before, and I think it would be about 3 times faster. I'm really running slow right now. I mean, 9 FPS, this also does have an influence on how fast the contraption can actually move, but I put like 500 more mass enhancers on top of it, and it only increased it ever so slightly. But there we go, it is at least the vent that I was looking for. Now we just have to make a bunch of adjustments. Maybe I'm gonna go with blocks that are really light. I'm not sure if that actually will do something for me, or maybe you guys have a suggestion how to actually make a better thing out of that. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna be working on that a little more off camera. Let me know what you want to see in the next episode. I'm actually quite in the mood to play some more Starmade the next few days, so you might actually get an earlier episode than usual. And I kind of want to make some more progress on the mothership. So give me your suggestions, your inspirations, and I'll try to take some of them as well into the next episode. However, I think at this point we're gonna wrap up the episode. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to leave your support down below. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye bye.